change, I really couldn't say. In this life there's nothing certain, except the curtain that rises to the stage. Silly games of second guessing, I just forget the lessons that I couldn't learn. Because one street over there's a life I could have known, that would have kept me from the one I have today. Except the curtain that rises to the stage. Silly games of second guessing, I just forget the lessons that I couldn't learn. Because one street over there's a life I could have known, that would have kept me from the one I had today. Everywhere I could have ended up just like that broken road, with a dead end in my path. Thank the Lord that I've got more than that. In this life there's nothing certain, except the curtain that rises to the stage. Silly games of second guessing, I won't forget the lessons that I don't deserve.
Okay. We'll turn the microphones on. Laci Beau and I talking off microphone about all the things. Hey guys, this is 1100 WSGI. I'm U-Turn LaVern, and this is One Street Over. What's going on? One street over from where you living. You need to know, and that's why you tune in here every day, Monday through Friday, from 7 to 8 a.m. And today, even at 8, you're gonna have Lee Marie Astaire coming in doing the Ghost Show at 8. So you got even a second hour today. So 2 full fun hours to find out what's happening around town. So what you doing, Miss Laci? I got to say this, though. This is so funny before I let you have the floor. I get a message from her last week. I need time next week, LaVern. I need time on the air. And if you don't have it, that's okay. I'll just do a radio bomb instead of a photo bomb, right?
Right.
So then, pull that right to you. So then, that day, this is on Friday, we're sitting in here doing our Faith Friday segment, and here comes Bill Jones busting in and handing out books because he's got a book that just came out on Friday. So he did the first, you coined the phrase, and then he did the first radio bomb. He just jumped in, didn't say anything, just handing out books. I'm like, what is this?
I love it.
Isn't that great?
It
was funny. It was funny. I was like, here, she spoke it and you did it. And he just laughed. But it was great.
Love it.
But we had time. We've got Ryan Martin coming in later at 7:30, which is good because you have things you need to talk to him about.
I did, most certainly.
There you go.
That worked out.
When we make the switch, you can hit him up as I'll do an ad and I'll kind of take a little bit longer.
Or I could radio bomb him on the spot and then he would have a hard time telling me no.
There you go. Go do it.
I like it.
Yeah, you can do it. Oh, that's true. So when he comes in, you can ask him point blank, hey, I need this from you. And it's going to look bad if he says no. He's going, oh, no, what are they going to say?
Oh, my goodness.
He's like wondering, what are they up to?
Uh-oh.
It's all good. We're just teasing you, Ryan. It's going to be fun. Good day. Beautiful day. We do have fair stuff tonight. Don't forget Faith Night at the fair is tonight. They've also got go-kart races. They've got, of course, stuff on the bandstand. They've got on the big stage tonight. Well, it's Faith Night. Again, it's Faith Night. And then on the acoustic stage is Amber Watts. So that's what's happening at the fair tonight. Get on out there. And I'm trying to remember to share every morning, here's what's happening at the fair tonight. So just kind of keep that in mind and look for that. But it's Fair Week. It's also Art Walk in the Park Week. And you know what? Let's just clarify something too. Everybody's going, well, why are they doing that on Saturday? Y'all have always done it on this week.
Yeah, we've always
And
had the third Saturday.
I didn't know that. And so that's good to know because people look at that and they're like, why would you put that on the Saturday of the fair? No, the fair moved to y'all's slot and y'all been doing it for 13 years and different people want different things.
Yeah,
so there you go.
This is the second year we did it and I really don't feel like it's competition. We had the busiest year last year.
Yeah.
And I love that Robert C. County constantly has so much to do.
I do too. And so, but that again, we all forget that y'all been doing this a long time. And I had not thought about that. Yeah. So very cool.
Our 13th year.
Yeah.
I try to avoid competing with most organizations. It's hard just because like I said, I think we've got the most going on in the county that
we really do.
Exists.
Yeah. So there's always something going on, and there's something no matter what your taste, style, whatever it is you're wanting. There's something out there, and I'm one of these people though. I kind of like it when we have multiple events on weekends because to have a weekend where I can go and do things is somewhat rare because I have grandkids that live in Wilson County, about to have a grandkid in Jackson. So you find me in town where I'm available. Doesn't happen all the time. So if you've got 2 or 3 things going on, I can go here for a little while and go here for a little while and I kind of jump around. I kind of like that.
Right.
Because I do have weekends that just stay booked all the time.
Yes.
So it's a good thing. I mean, there's just, the point is, guys, oh my goodness, you got great stuff to do this weekend. Art in the Park is a fabulous event. I got to see Woody was there last year from 107 from the river. Hadn't seen him in years. He and I worked together. Woody and Jim did. Of course, they're not there anymore. They got laid off, which just,
That's so sad.
It's sad. Radio. It's just a cutthroat business. So I'm just telling y'all. But nonetheless, they had a great career, and I just really appreciated being able to connect with him last year. So what all have you got planned this year?
That was a lot of fun last year. This year we have over 50 artists.
Okay.
They're artists in booths, which is just artists. Or the entire festival is probably double the size it was last year.
Okay.
Or it has been. This year on the music stage, we've got some really wonderful opportunities. The Tennessee Arts Commission put out a touring grant that we were actually awarded. We submitted it so that Steve Daly and the Cumberland Sliders, Steve Daly is actually native here. He's grown up Roberts County. He went to East Robertson. But he's kind of doing a whole chameleon of music. He plays for everybody. He's played for Miranda Lambert. He's played international. He plays with Ian Noe, and they play everywhere. The Ryman. So he'll be playing, but he'll also be playing, and they're not on this card. He'll be playing with a couple other bands, Rodney Rice, and then Mark Thornton and the Sidekicks.
Wow, you got some great music out there.
We do. Yeah. Morgan Bryant is a electric ukulele player. She found me, and her music you're just gonna love.
Cool.
You're gonna love. And then we have not my favorite, but my favorite. I love this woman. You would like her. She's a firecracker. Suzanne Fiery and Django Riot. It's gypsy jazz music again.
Oh, yeah.
She was there last year. She's just wonderful. It sets the mood, the atmosphere for the entire park.
I love it. Gypsy jazz.
That's
cool.
She's as cool as that sounds.
Oh, man. Gypsy jazz. I like that. That's just fun.
I've got people who tell me they come out and they spend the day here. They buy all their Christmas presents. They have a lot of fun. We have free art projects, free face painting. There will be the cotton candy. There will be bubble toys. And then the more you go, people will be live painting. There'll be live stained glass making from one end of the park to the other.
It is. It's wonderful.
It's so fun.
Yeah.
It really
we were there last year, and the weather looks good.
The weather looks like it used to look. The last several years, it's been so hot.
Yeah.
Now, finally, it's going to feel like fall, then get warm.
Yeah.
And get cool again.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's one thing. And it's just a wonderful event. We've got a wonderful park out there. It's so beautiful. And it's just a fun little walk through there. And I love just kind of the area right around as you come in, but then you just keep walking down through the woods and it's just stuff everywhere. You go, oh, looky here. Oh, looky here. And it just keeps going.
It does.
Yeah.
They've done a wonderful job. That's what I was looking at last night, because if we extend it even further, we're going to have to wrap around the beautiful like sand volleyball courts and stuff.
Yeah.
And that greenway path down there is just as pretty as the front path.
It was so funny. They have I'm sure Ryan Martin's coming in from our city manager, and there's a little survey out about your city. I don't know if you've seen that. And it was talking about the favorite things that you love about the city and what do you want to do. And there was a lot that was said in that survey about our greenways because they're so beautiful. And, and it's like, you want more? Well, of course.
Right.
Of course we do. But okay, continue on. We're talking with Laci Beau, and she is here from Willow Oak. And she is talking all about the Art in the Park event. This is the 13th annual one, and it is on the third Saturday in September.
This Saturday.
Yep, this Saturday, 10 to 4 at Travis Price Park here in Springfield. There's nothing. It costs not a dime to go to this.
No, I tell
and you will
everybody
have so much fun.
Put your blankets and your chair out in front of the main stage and walk around. It's going to happen. There's going to be, thanks to our sponsors, there's going to be double the installation. So there's going to be 5,000 feet of bunting flags. We're making a 500 balloon arch for families to enjoy.
Oh, fun.
Oh, yeah. And then the ribbon installation that was our art fest will be there. It'll be a lot of fun.
It's going to be great.
It is.
It's going to be great. So tell me again, how many different vendors?
There's 70 vendors altogether.
Oh, wow.
That's food, bubble tea. We've got infused Red Bull. We've got Philly cheesesteaks, a hot dog stand, one of those Nashville hot
What's
dog stands.
infused Red Bull? What?
Yes.
What?
I'm not sure. Well, so I like the peach Red Bulls. So I'm assuming it's going to be
I'm
something
not a
like
Red
that.
Bull person, but I'm intrigued. I'm
And
like,
coffee.
what's in it? Yeah.
Maybe it'll be infused
I'm
with
afraid
something to make it
give me the
healthier.
shakes, with all the caffeine and stuff. I don't know. I know a lot of people do it. My kids do. I've just never gotten that caffeined up, I don't think. I don't know, but
Maybe you just haven't needed it.
infused Red Bull. That sounds interesting. That sounds fun. So, talking with Laci Beau, she is everything Willow Oak. We had a bunch of teachers that came out to Willow Oak the other day, or at least a couple that came in because we had our.
They came and hung out with me.
Yeah, so they did. Well, very good.
Yep.
So-
I didn't know. I wasn't
Hey,
sure
Tom?
what we were doing. Oh, sorry.
That's okay.
I wasn't sure exactly what we were doing, but I know that we ended up with them going to talk to their classes.
Okay.
So that'll be fun. They just
Okay. That's kind of what I ended up doing too, because I was talking, with a group, and I said, "Why don't you just come out?" Because we got into more of a social media kind of thing, not necessarily what I'm specifically doing, but talking about the, how do you, navigate social media and make it the most beneficial and things like that. So why don't you just come out and talk to the class? So I think that opened up a door for us to do that as well. So, but they had not either one been to Willow Oak, and I was sitting at before y'all came together. And I was telling them all about it. I said, "Oh, you'll meet Laci." I figured as much. I figured that you'd be the one that they would give them the tour. So, but very good.
He actually caught me at Main Street Boutique on their closing night and said, "Hey, will you come talk to my class?"
Okay.
Of course I will.
Okay.
I don't know that I'm the one to mentor young children. I'm just kidding.
Of course you are.
I'm just kidding.
Of course you are.
I like to break all the rules.
Tell me
All of
something.
them.
I'm just going to jump off on I watch you on social media. Y'all put up like a barn, and what are y'all doing over there? Is that on your property that you put up your little barn? Is that just for? Are you going to do events, or is that just for your own personal use?
That's for our own personal use.
Okay.
So my husband's kind of a musician too. So, and his dad had collected every gaming system that's ever existed. So not only do we have the systems, we have 25 games to go to each one. So one part of it is going to be a gaming system. You go in there, several TVs and all that.
Yeah.
The other part is his drums and his guitars and a karaoke machine and all that.
Fun.
On the other side is his workshop and his wood shop. And on the other side of that is my tinkering shop.
Okay.
Whatever we do.
So it's just a place for you guys to really explore your interest and your hobbies and all that. That's fun.
And for teenagers too. So
Well, yeah, because
we've
you've
already
got
had a
the
group
kids.
sleep out there and
Well,
it's
that's fun.
Ping pong tables. We want a pool table.
I was
Darts,
trying to figure it
cornhole.
out. I was like, okay, so are y'all going to host events or something? I didn't know if you were going to be another venue here in town.
I mean,
but
I guess you could call our parties events. They kind of.
there you go.
Yeah.
That's hysterical. Well, I had
love
somebody
it.
say something about coming to an event, and I was like, what are they doing? But anyway, y'all are so cute. Y'all are just so much fun to watch. And
We do have a lot of fun.
I do get a kick out of y'all.
Thanks.
Talking with Laci Beau, she is everything Willow Oak, and it is the big Art in the Park event happening this week and this Saturday, and we want to invite you to come out and be a part of all that they have going on. What we need to do right now is we need to pause and we need to talk about some of our sponsors. Let's start with Corbin Creek Greenhouse, Gifts and Gardening Center, one of my favorite places in the world. Love going out and just hanging out with Miss Amy and Miss Jane. They are so much fun and so informative. I mean, they know their stuff, and there's just not too many questions. If I ask them something, about my lawn and garden, and if they don't have the answer, they're like, I'll find out, I'll let you know, and I'll get a text. It's bizarre. And but they just are so great at what they do. There's a beautiful picture of Amy on their Facebook page right now. Just beautiful picture of her, and she's got what are your choices? Do you like orange or red mums? And she's got a one in each hand, and they're absolutely gorgeous. Her mums are beautiful. Did you ever think they'd be anything but that? Because that's the only thing they do is just excellence. Their root system. If you ever pull one of their plants and just dump it out of the pot that it's in, you're going to see the roots are just extensive, and it makes such a difference in the life of the plant. I know that we're talking with Brian Pooley. He gets all of his bedding plants for his garden there, for his vegetable garden, says it just produces like mad because it starts out in such great shape. And I know Laci is a customer.
Oh yeah.
The mully grass. How many mully grass do you have? Mine has not gotten real established yet, but I'm working on it.
I have 12 now.
You've got 12.
I have 12.
Send me a picture when they start doing their thing.
They've
doing
already
their cotton
started
candy.
some of them, but
Okay.
a lot of them are babies, and when they're together,
Yeah.
I've noticed that they kind of slow down. It's almost like they grow the same. So my mature ones have slowed down, but they're catching up at that. Now they're all growing together.
Okay.
I don't know if that's a habit. But it was
Interesting.
very interesting because we've got like a hill when you pull up our driveway, and I've got 8 of them lined up. So it'll just be like,
it's got to be beautiful.
It's going to be. I can't wait.
Do they turn pink better with full sun? Because I've got mine kind of in a shaded area, so mine may not do their show.
It took me almost 3 years to get mine to do their show, and it's pink right when fall comes. So we've got some turning just right now.
Okay.
And then
but sometimes you'll have the things that they'll turn. I need to call Amy about this because I've you have to plant things in the right spot. I've wanted to get hydrangeas started.
Yeah.
And I have yet to find a good place in my yard where hydrangeas thrive. And so I need to just kind of talk to her real specifically about where I need to put that. But the same with the mully grass, it's a very shaded area. And so I don't know
I have
if it's
one
going
in
to
a
do
shaded area that's doing wonderful.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Good. Well, that's good to know. So I'm excited about my mully grass. If you don't know, it's cotton candy grass, okay? And in the fall, it turns pink. You've shown me pictures of it. It is so beautiful.
It lasts beyond the first frost.
See, I can't wait for my granddaughter to see that when it gets in all of its glory because she's going to love it. She's going to absolutely love it. But yeah, I know we're talking about Corbin Creek. We've spent too long talking about them, but
that's okay.
That's okay because we love them. We go by and see them, and you can get all your CBD products there too. As this weather turns, my arthritis just kind of grabs me. It makes all the difference in the world. Just kind of takes that overall ache out. I took a little extra this morning because I'm just kind of fighting it right now, and man, it could be a game changer for you guys. Go and talk to him today, and it's at Robertson County CBD. But you can talk to him at 4920 Highway 161, 4920 Highway 161 here in Springfield, or you can call him 615-384-3185, 615-384-3185. Always let them know you turned and Laci and all of us said we sent you. All right, what's next, sis?
Let's talk about the artists.
Okay, yes.
This is a wonderful opportunity for them. A lot of times I see, and I've ran into this most obviously working at Willow Oak, and it's become one of my passions. Is to give them the opportunities, create the opportunities, because once they're working their 9-to-5 jobs, or if they're trying to be just their paycheck is their art, this is a huge opportunity for them.
Oh yeah.
Everything from, like I said, stained glass to weaving to we've got basket weaving, digital art, painting, got charcoal art. She's called the Hallway Artist. We have everything. Pottery, jewelry.
Digital art. Expound on that for me.
Well,
What do you mean?
our very own Mystic Picnic, Zach, that works. He's our favorite bartender. He is a digital artist. So his prints, you can find him on Instagram and just come say hi to him. He's made the Springfield prints that everybody collected, the downtown historic. But he also just, that guy who doodles, I think that's his handle. But it's just interesting. It's very illustrated. Okay. He's a very illustrated graphic designer.
He's that guy who doodles?
I think so. So Mr. Doodle is one of my favorites, but he's that guy who doodles. He creates all the signage for Mystic Picnic, but also he's got some really creepy and fun Halloween illustrations that he does every year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good. So we've got some digital artists, and we've got, so go back through your list then.
Oh, goodness. So we've got digital artists, we've got potters, planters, Flowers by Terrell will be there. We have...
Flowers by, explain that one for people.
So he's our hometown florist.
Okay.
And he's going to be doing home decor, and he usually has, per the season, like I'm sure y'all fall wreaths, and he has live flowers so you can put bouquets together.
Okay. So you can put your own bouquet together.
Oh, sure.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Good.
And his flowers are gorgeous.
Fun,
we have all the types of jewelry. We've got wire wrap jewelry, gemstone jewelry, resin jewelry, clay jewelry, botanical jewelry, all of it. All the jewelry. We've got some of our favorite oil painters. We've got acrylic painters, graphite artists. We have lots of knitters and crocheters. If you've got littles who want stuffed animals, if you want blankets, mittens, and hats and earmuffs, all of it.
It's like you mentioned, I did some Christmas shopping out there last year.
Yes.
And we all run out of ideas. We want to do something special. We want to have something neat. And you can find so many unique items out there.
Especially for the men, the woodworkers.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, the woodworking is gorgeous. And these are handmade, whittled, and table lathed, created pieces of art.
You name it. Everybody will find something that they're going to be interested in if you go to the Art in the Park. But we've got just so many other things happening at Willow Oaks. You know, you've got the little card that talks about Art in the Park, and then on the other side, it's got all the classes and the different things y'all have going on, and the scholarship program. And I mean, I'm just looking at all the different things.
You see the gray square? Read that one.
Yes. Oh, the Roger Bunch Concert and Event Hall.
So...
is this what you were talking about?
Yes.
Oh, okay. That is so cool.
So with the Experience Robertson County grant, we're able to go ahead and get that started. We've got professional lighting and sound being installed right now, and the stage extended in the sanctuary.
Oh, man.
That first concert will be November the 4th, and then November the 18th, and then there'll be monthly evening concerts, Friday and Saturday. So the first one's going to be the Steve Daly and the Cumberland Sliders. And I met with Steve because music is not my expertise. I never want to say the wrong word, and I never want to promote anything the way that the expert doesn't want it promoted.
Sure.
The artist doesn't want it promoted. And I had the coolest conversation with him. So this concert, I said, if you could describe it to me, how would you do it? And if you've met Steve, then you would know. And he was just like, it's all things birthed out of the South. It's vintage. It's gritty. It's nostalgic. It's...
you wrote all this down, right?
No, I just read it several... Oh, yeah, I did write it down. I've read it so many times. Yeah. He said it's country, blues, and southern rock all just together. It's swamp music.
I love that.
I know. I was like, that's exactly what I needed.
That is so cool. Yeah.
So that's the kind... And then he's going to have a separate band come together, and they're going to do a Christmas jam.
Oh,
so we're going to have all these fun things for people to do. Tickets will be limited because we do have 100-person capacity in that event center. Mm-hmm. But we hope that each show sells out and the excitement continues to build.
So tell me the first date on that again.
Well, our first concert...
When will tickets go on sale then?
The tickets will go on sale mid this month. But the first concert is going to be... The first concert is going to be November the 4th, and that's our chorale concert.
Okay.
That will be... We have 50 people in this year's chorale that is directed by Musetta and James Story. So that's going to be fun.
Okay, so how many shows are you going to do? You're going to have 100 capacity?
With 50, I know, 3.
You're going to be like graduation, you get 2 tickets.
That's what I said. So that's
crazy.
We're kind of careful with that one right now. That one may be more intimate. We're not sure.
Okay.
We'll have to do something. But, of course, we're going to give everybody the opportunity if they want to.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing. I'm just saying. Have y'all thought about maybe doing a show back over for the Christmas chorale concert? Maybe go because since it's a bigger event, you know.
I think they're looking forward to the multiple opportunities to perform.
Yeah, in other words, and have your intimate show, but then maybe have another show over at the auditorium.
We may have. I think that the Innovation Academy is kind of booked up since they're the STEAM. Since they have. I think the Robertson County Players. Lots of people use that auditorium. So
okay.
I know that's been stressful for them to try to schedule to cater to everybody.
Right. I hadn't even thought about that because I mean that's That's a historic auditorium. Everybody wants the Innovation Academy auditorium, and they also have school things.
Yes,
they
lots of school. And they have a lot more school things now.
Yes, they do, because Stan Stanley's over there running
That
things.
is right. That's right.
That might be the reason why that theater stayed full, is because Stan Stanley's going, I got that. I got plans.
Yeah.
I'm just curious, because he's got stuff going on all the time.
Yeah, and
he would have to, yeah.
And that could also mean that the clubs have grown. If the clubs have grown and they're doing, they're supposed to be doing in school.
Yeah, there you go. Good
This
stuff.
is our school. This is not your school.
What are we missing, sis? We got about 5 minutes. I saw Ryan's already popped his head in. And,
Good. You want to just invite them in? No, I'm just kidding.
Sure.
United Community Bank, Parks and Rec, South Central Growers, Gateway Printing, Tennessee Arts Commission, and Miss Renee Harrington, our favorite realtor. We could not do these events without these sponsorships, without the support from these people. Gateway does our printing for us, and they, also have their Gateway stem, so they give us a nonprofit rate, and it is, our print marketing gets to exceed our expectations thanks to them and their gifts.
Here's on this card here. It says, draw something, sew something, cook something, sing something, write something, read something, make something, join something, paint something, hear something, create something, plan something, play something. I love it.
You can do all that there.
That is awesome. It's a great event. Connecting community with creativity. They've got, if you see these little cards around, just hit the scan. Everybody's got to have a QR code. I think you got it all on the card though, but you can do the QR code will tell you more even. So.
It'll let you select whichever one. I love our link tree.
Oh, okay. So you can go to the QR code, and then you can link all the things.
Take a class, sign up for a workshop,
gotcha.
Music lessons.
So this is the QR code for the Art in the Park on the Art in the Park side. Or is it the same QR code?
Same QR code.
Same QR code.
There's just a link to Art in the Park on that QR code too.
Okay.
Yep.
So we can link all the different things that we want for Willow Oak. And it's just a fun place, just a cool thing going on in our community. And if you want to be a part of it, Art in the Park this weekend, 10 to 4 at Travis Price Park in Springfield. I'll tell you what, go and get him, come in here so you can hit him up, and I'll do an ad.
I better not put him on the spot. I'm like,
put him on the spot. He's like, what is going on? While she's getting her self together and going and taking care of that, let's talk about Cumberland Connect. Cannot say enough about Cumberland Connect and all the things that they do for our community. If you are a Cumberland Electric customer, we want to encourage you to know that you are going to have access to high-speed internet. It's just a matter of a time. All you have to do, if you want to go to cumberlandconnect.org, the page is going to pop up and it's going to say check availability. And you can click on that, put in your zip code, and it'll tell exactly when it's in your neighborhood. And the biggest part of you've probably already got access and you just don't realize it yet. You can send in a request to have it hooked up. If you've got the little lines on your pole, the little cluster of rolled up lines, that's them ready to come into your house and get you hooked up so you can be in the gig club. There's an awful lot of us in the gig club because it is $80 for an entire gig that will hook you up and give you high-speed internet like you have never experienced if you're one of those folks like myself that lives very rural and cannot function in the wide world of the internet that everybody else does because we just don't have it available. Well, because it is now a utility, it is available for you as well through Cumberland Connect. Again, just connect with them at cumberlandconnect.org, or you can just give them a call and talk to them to see what all is going on to find out more. And I'm looking for the phone number on their website real quick. Give me a second. I want to remind you, too, they have the Affordable Connectivity Program. And if you qualify, because it is now a utility, you could get up to $30 to help pay for broadband services. And guess what? They've got programs starting at just $30. The phone number, 800-987-2362, 1-800-987-2362 for Cumberland Connect. Powered through Cumberland Electric. When you get in touch with them, tell them U-Turn sent you. I just can't get my words working today, Ryan. How are you doing,
it's
my friend?
Good morning. How are you?
Good morning. I'm doing very well. It feels like it's been forever.
I know. It's been a while.
Oh, my goodness. I don't think I'm going... I told you, I sent you a text last night. I had moved their schedule because we had some things going on. I was like, hey, can you go here instead of here? And then you... what's the girl's name who came in last time?
Natasha.
Natasha came in. She was wonderful. So that's 2 months I haven't gotten to see you, and I keep moving stuff around. I'm going to try to leave you alone now and keep you on your slot.
That's okay.
You're supposed to be in here. But because I think I'm done running around for a little while. I don't think I'm going to be off for a while. I had so many teacher things come up, and, so. But
just a busy person. That's
kind of crazy, but it's all good. So what happened with it? We had our mayor and alderman meeting. If you're new to the program, and a lot of people are, if you've just found us, we very intentionally we had Mayor Vogel in yesterday. They had the county commissioners meeting on Monday night. He comes in the next day. Ryan, they had the mayor and alderman meeting last night, so he comes in the next day. We do the same thing with the director of schools. After the school board meeting, they come in the next day. And so that's one of the routines, because it keeps us plugged in to what's happening in our community. So we appreciate that so much for giving us time.
Absolutely. And I appreciate you having us. I mean, letting people know what's going on. I say it all the time. I probably sound like a broken record, but we want people to know what we're doing. We work, that's who we work for. That's who we're there to represent and serve. And so we try to, whether it's here or going to a civic group or something like that, trying to let people know what we're doing and working on behalf of them. So that way, if we're not doing what they, or if we're doing something they don't want us to do, we can stop. Or if we're not doing something they want us to do, then we can, try to get that going. So absolutely, I appreciate the opportunity and the platform to come tell everybody.
Well, and absolutely my pleasure. And mention the survey, because I did my survey last night.
You did?
I did. And I got a little survey that popped up, and I was like, I can do this. And so it was like, I think 25 questions. And what do you like about the city? What do you have here? Do you have anything that you want, that you're looking towards and the things? And I think one of the things that kept popping up for me is I'm concerned about housing, for affordable housing for those who don't have great incomes,
Absolutely.
And so that's something that I'm very passionate about, and you and I've had that conversation, but I can voice that through that survey. So how can they access that survey? Are they going to email it?
You can go to our website. Okay. It's also on our Facebook page, our social media channels. There'll be links directly to it. So look for that. You can visit. Probably the easiest way to get to it is to hit our Facebook page and scroll, and it's within the first, handful of posts. You'll find that. What it's for is it's for our comprehensive growth plan. It's time for the city to update that and look at what does Springfield look like in the next 15 to 20 years, right? And so that is determined and dictated by the people that live here, right? So that's why that public input is important. Goes back to what we were just talking about public input. And so we want as many folks to respond to that as possible. Let us know, which is basically what we've hired a consulting firm that is kind of conducting that study for us that'll help put together a plan, which is normal. The county was doing the same thing. And so it requires a lot of public input. Don't just leave it up to us. We're there to work for you. And so we want people to fill that out and let us know where they want Springfield to go, because those are the folks that it's our home, it's your home. So have a voice in the outcome there. And so it's a short survey. It didn't take you.
No, I was waiting for Mark. I was sitting in the car.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, okay. And I filled that out and plus too, I thought it was just kind of very timely because you're coming in today. And I thought, okay. And it was very simple. And, like rank the top 3 things that matter to you, or rank the top 5. And it didn't take long at all, guys. So do the survey.
Absolutely. We'll also have some opportunities, some verbal public input opportunities to come in and talk, and so be on the lookout for those being advertised. We'll that's part of the whole study and the plan is to really talk to people, like not just running a survey is great, and maybe 1,000 people can do the survey, but if a few hundred people could come and kind of share their opinion on specific things, that is really beneficial in developing the plan. And it is what's important, what moving forward, what is important. That's the central theme. Is what should we be on the lookout for? What is important? Traffic is one of those things that we hear a lot.
That was in the survey.
Affordable housing is one of those things that we hear a lot. And affordable housing, I was talking to some employers last week, and as an employer, I feel the same way. One of the struggles to hiring people now is that they can't afford to live here.
Yeah.
And that's something that we thought was a Williamson County problem. Franklin and Brentwood. We thought that's who had that problem.
It's our problem now too.
And it's our problem now, because when you hire someone, it's tough for them to buy, especially if they're maybe a fresh high school graduate trying to get an apartment, or a college graduate that, is trying to get an apartment, or a single parent that, that trying to buy a house would be difficult. Obviously, we know what's going on with interest rates, but even property values before that, the way they had gone up, is just it's a challenge right now with affordable housing.
We had a little thing that the kids did when I was out of town last couple of weeks ago, and it's like, where do you see yourself in 3 to 5 years? And so many of them getting an apartment, buying a home, because these are a lot of seniors. And in my mind, I'm thinking, we need more apartment complexes. We need some, and because in the survey it asked about townhomes, and I checked apartments because I know apartments are more affordable than the townhomes.
Correct.
Townhomes can be super expensive. And so, whenever I was looking at what I was hoping for, and it's a hard thing because you and I have talked about what does affordable housing look like? Well, if I'm a property owner and I'm trying to get the most bang for my buck and my investment, I want these high dollar homes, and you can't resent that because that's on their success. It's their opportunity, it's their property. But in the same sense, you're trying to figure out, okay, how do we do this? How do we make it to where there is affordable housing out there? It's just it's a very big dilemma. You and I've had that.
Absolutely.
I don't know how to answer the question.
Yeah.
So
it's tough. How do you tell people what to do with their property versus
exactly
needing to? And I know that there are some other areas that have tried to tackle that problem, that have faced it before we did, right before it got here to us. But it's challenging, and we're fortunate that we do have some proposed apartment complexes. One of them's being built right now, over off of Moreland Drive, and so because some people view apartments as they look at them as negative, but the truth of the matter is you have to have a balance. An 18-year-old that graduates high school is not getting ready to buy a $400,000 house. They're not going to buy a $400,000 house. So they need somewhere to, if they're moving out if they're getting a job or moving, say they are moving to the area, which would be great because we want to, not only do we want to employ the folks that graduate high school here, but we want to bring other high school graduates in from other places or college graduates or TCAT, technology graduates. They have to be able to live somewhere. If they're not living with mom and dad anymore, they have to be able to live somewhere. And a $400,000 house is not something that they're going to do at 19.
No.
Right? And you're right. Townhomes, there's almost very little difference between the price of a townhome now and a single-family home, a detached single-family home. There are townhomes in Springfield right now of over $500,000. And so apartments are needed from the standpoint of there's a population to be served there. You have, talking to folks that a single mother, right? An apartment is, I was talking to one a few weeks ago, and a single mother needed an apartment, couldn't get one. The demand is high around here for the supply that we have. So yes, we do need apartment housing. We need townhome housing. We need single family detached housing. We need a combination of all of it. We really do.
Oh, very good. We're talking with Ryan Martin, and he is on the heels of the mayor and alderman meeting that happened last night, coming in and giving us a big update. And I tell you, and I've asked him all kinds of questions, got him off track. But I think we probably covered some things y'all might be touching that you might have touched on last night. I'm just thinking. But let's pause for just a second. Let me go ahead and do my break, and then we'll come back and reset and let him just take off and just tell us what happened in the meeting last night. But I do want to pause and talk about one of our sponsors. And, we're talking about housing and all of those things. Barry and Rebecca Richards with the Exit Realty Garden Gate team. They're a great team to work with. And Barry reminds me, well, we're not really a team. We work in competition with each other. He is the broker at the office on the downtown square now. Exit Realty has an office downtown. Rebecca is out in White House, and there's all kinds of different ways to get in touch with them. Sellwithbecky.com, sellwithbecky.com, buy BUY, robertsoncounty.com, buy robertsoncounty.com, or you can just Google them. You can Google Barry or Rebecca Richards with the Exit Realty Garden Gate team. They both have web pages, and I've been talking a lot about Barry's. Look, go and check out Rebecca's. You're going to find on Rebecca's web page just all about her. She's got different focuses and highlights of some of the listings that are going on. Some beautiful places. Oh my goodness, some of these places in a wide range. I'm looking at one property that is land that's $150,000, and then I'm looking at nearly $1 million property up in Franklin, Kentucky. That's just gorgeous. They've got all kinds of that. There's a $330,000 property that's in Greenbrier. Buy that. Put your kids in school, and I can teach them. But they've got all kinds of ways for you to search their listings and see all that they are about, and it tells them a little bit about who you're going to be working with. So if you're interested in anything to do with real estate, cannot recommend enough my team, Barry, my two friends, Barry Rebecca Richards with the Exit Realty Garden Gate team. Again, you can get in touch with them at sellwithbecky.com or buyrobertscounty.com. They specialize in Robertson County properties, but buy and sell in the surrounding counties and across the state line in Kentucky, or give Becky a call. 615-504-7425, 615-504-7425. Let them know U-Turn sent you. Ryan Martin, our city manager for Springfield. I cannot find my words today. I do not know why, but there they are. So give us a rundown. Mayor and Alderman meeting. Go.
Sure. Probably a record crowd last night.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I would say we had well over 100
I
people.
don't know why.
In attendance last night.
Yeah.
A couple of different reasons. First, we had quite a few folks, family members come out and support. We got to honor two really important folks in our community last night. Louis Jameson and Billy Townsend. We honored both of them with resolutions. Unfortunately, both of them passed away recently within the last couple of months, but both were really impactful in our community, and we honored them in their life of service, both of their lives of service last night. Mr. Townsend has done so much in our community, and so we were able to honor him and have his family there last night. And Mr. Jameson, same thing. We even have a field named after Mr. Jameson in J. Travis Price Park. Just very impactful folks that have meant a lot to the city of Springfield, meant a lot to people, but also meant a lot to the community as a whole. And so we were able to honor them with resolutions last night. So we had that was one reason for the crowd last night. But also we had and I'll just skip to that part since I know what you're alluding to, but we had a rezoning, mundane, routine rezoning, but it drew a big crowd last night, and for good reason. It's a rezoning of two parcels on 10th Avenue, and that is going to enable, that did pass on first reading. It passed unanimously. It did enable, or will enable once it's passed on second reading, My Father's House, the My Father's House Cold Weather Shelter Ministry to operate there in that location on 10th Avenue. They're looking to purchase and acquire that property from Mr. Walling. In order to do so, the property has to get rezoned. So,
and Charlene's on, so I just wanted to go ahead and talk about that, because I knew when you said you had a crowd, I was like, I know part of the reason.
Yeah. We had quite a few folks supporting My Father's House last night. The Planning Commission had already recommended that unanimously.
Right.
The Board of Mayor and Aldermen voted on first reading unanimously. It's one of those things that if you really want to break it down, because there was some resistance, in and around that area, because of the NIMBY theory, right? Not in my backyard. Everybody thinks that we need a cold weather shelter, but folks don't want it near them. Same thing with a landfill. Oh, I've got to have somewhere to put my trash. I just don't want it near me. It needs to be near you, right? And so, but that ministry is, Steve Phillips. It's kind of leading that charge. It's a volunteer-run group, and we've met with them, and they're a phenomenal bunch of people. And I'm thankful for what they're doing. Lisa Cobb was instrumental. Oh, yeah. Back before they kind of got a permanent location, I had even volunteered when my church was helping out with that ministry. And so it's a great, it's needed. Unfortunately, we have a growing homeless problem in Middle Tennessee. Middle Tennessee has known this for a while. Springfield and Robertson County are just figuring it out because we're late to the party, just like with the growth. All of that.
Well, and we're
it's a
rural,
side effect.
and you just don't. It has taken a little bit longer to get here.
It has, and we've always kind of had an issue, but it's growing, and people see. We've heard in the last couple of weeks that there's some vagrant folks that are moving around and that sort of thing. And you have what is unique about My Father's House, and what is really great about it is the fact that one of the volunteers told me, we don't want repeat customers.
I like that.
We want to help them, but we want to equip them not to have to come back, right? So anyway, we're just excited. I could go on about that for a while, but we're just excited to have them operating in Springfield, filling the gap, filling that void and standing in that gap to help folks who, because we had a really bitterly cold winter last year. And we had folks, and we've had, we had issues that were popping up around the city a couple of years ago. For instance, down the Greenway Bridge, down there past Legion Field. We had some folks that were camping. This was a couple of years ago, but we had some folks camping out there before My Father's House was really got going, and so now that they're able to serve those folks, and we're getting those folks off the street at night where there's somewhere to go. And I said it at the State of the City, and I've said it before that in my experience volunteering in My Father's House, everyone I talked to had a job, right? And oftentimes we write those people off as they don't want to work. And hey, there are some folks that don't, right?
You're going to have a few always.
There are some folks that don't, but the folks that were participating in that ministry, that came in were thankful to have a place to sleep that night because for whatever reason, circumstances in their life, maybe some, bad luck, maybe some things by choice, but in any event, they were working to make it better. They had a job. They got there. They came when they got off from work, right? And were leaving the next morning to go to work. So these are people that are really looking for a hand up, not a handout, right? And they just need a little bit of help, short-term help. And so I'm just thankful for those folks, and I'll stop because I could fill the rest of our time.
No, I'm like you. It's like there's a soapbox you can get on because when you've met these folks, I was at Laundry Love one day and met a couple that came in and they needed to wash clothes. She was working like a mad woman in one of the restaurants around town. I won't say the name. And her husband had had a stroke. And if you did not know their story, you see her come in, needs help with the laundry. You see him go back to this gaming center, and you're like, well, what's he doing? He's not helping her. He's playing the game to try to get his mobility back. It's his therapy. It's his therapy. I talked to him, amazing, sweet couple. And they're from, I wanted to say they were from somewhere in Kentucky, and they're just trying to find a place just to find some help. And they would, okay, well, I've got a hotel for a couple of nights, but I'm there just to listen to them. And I'm like, oh my word. I mean, they were doing fine, had a home. He had a stroke, lost his job. And before you know it, they're on the street. And they were just really good people. And it just breaks your heart. Those kinds of things happen.
Right.
And we've got to address it. I just can't say enough about my father's house. We love you, Charlene, and all the work that you guys do out there. And I hear Miss Charlene's got a home now because they had a fire. So all those things went on. Yeah, her house burned about 6 weeks ago. What was it, Charlene? Maybe. It's been maybe 2 months now. But they had a fire, and so they had to move, but they're in a new house. She's actually chiming in that they're getting Cumberland Connect Friday. Oh. In her new house. You go, girl. That's awesome. So she's awesome. But I'm so thankful that they landed somewhere that's going to work for them. But, so much going on. Talking with Ryan Martin about all things that happened at the Mayor and Alderman meeting. What else you got for us?
Well, one of the probably most informational things that happened last night, Chief Head gave his annual crime update on crime in Springfield. The numbers came in a little late this year. I know it's September, but they're 2022 numbers because they're things were just a little late with the state compiling the numbers, I believe, this year. But these are TBI's annual crime numbers. TBI puts out a report, and I would encourage anyone because so where do you get these numbers? You're cooking the books, you're skewing the numbers. These are TBI's numbers, not our numbers. We report every crime that occurs to TBI, and TBI compiles it into a report. It's called the Annual Crime in Tennessee Report. And so for the 2022 report, we're pleased to report that violent crime has gone down double-digit percentage again. We are, and he put together some comparisons last night, our crime rate, if you will, which is our Group A crimes, our crime rate has cut in half since 2017.
Oh, wow.
So, absolutely. Say
that again.
Our crime rate has cut in half since 2017. So, in 5 years, our crime rate's cut in half.
Something's happening. Something's going well.
And so, and it's a product of, it's kudos to our police department, right? And what they're doing to keep us safe and be present and be vigilant and that sort of thing. But kudos to the citizens. I mean, it takes citizens behaving and folks taking, because and caring about what's going on. And that sort of thing, and so it's a group win. It's a village win. Everybody wins when the crime rate goes down. They had a 71% clearance rate last year. The police department did, and what does that mean? That means that 71% of the time when a report came in, they figured it out.
Okay.
They solved it. They arrested the person. Okay. They found the stolen item. Whatever solving it meant or resolving it meant. They were able to figure out that maybe it was unfounded. If it was a false allegation, they were able to get to whatever that meant 71% of the time versus some of the agencies in Tennessee. And I don't want to disparage anybody. I'm not here to disparage. I do want to brag on our our city and our police department for a good low crime rate, but other cities have a 20-something% clearance rate, which means if something gets stolen, 20% of the time they figured it out, right?
That's incredible.
Or if somebody got shot, 20% of the time they figured it out. Speaking of violent crime and murders, we had one homicide in 2022. One.
Wow, that's it.
That's one too many.
I mean, that's right? One too many, but that's honestly and truthfully, I assumed it was more, and so you only had one in 2020.
Just one.
And wow. Okay.
And two the year before. So it's there's a situation where it's like I say, and I said it last night, it's a whole lot easier to get a reputation than it is to shake one.
Yep.
And we all know how Springfield got a reputation from back in the the early 90s and that sort of thing. Mm-hmm. But the truth of the matter is that's just not the same Springfield anymore. We don't have that same level of violent crime. We had 3 robberies last year. Okay? Now, is that 3 too many? Sure. Mm-hmm. But compared to 2008 when we had 67, right?
Wow. I mean, that's astounding.
That's a big difference, right? Wow. And you've seen that number come down. This is not the same place. And so what I said last night is we need to be shouting that from the rooftops.
Yeah.
We need to let everyone know that the number. I mean, the facts are real. I mean, you can't argue with the facts. Springfield's a safe place to be. It's a safe place to live. Mm-hmm. The folks that are new here, they don't have any idea what happened in the early 90s. So they've never thought anything otherwise. It's those of us that have been around here for a while that know the reputation that Springfield used to have 30 years ago. Right?
When I first moved here, people are like, "You're going where? Oh, you got to live up there? It's kind of like the Wild West."
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, people cautioned us about it. We're like, "Well, we're fine. We're out in the country," and we've always loved it. But we do know there was a time. There was a time when things were a little more tenuous.
Yeah.
And but now that's in the survey too. Is safety important to you? Mm-hmm. It's in that survey that I was talking about. It is. It's a prominent question.
So we're going to highlight that. Okay. I mean, and that's something that everyone needs to know that it is real. I mean, these are real. This is what really happened. We're not, you can't cook those books, right? Mm-hmm. And so we've just seen things like robberies and things like homicides go down through proactive policing and a shift taking place in our community. I mean, I can't lay 100% of it on the police department. We know there's a shift going on here, right? Mm-hmm. With the way the community is kind of changing and the way things are moving towards a development and that sort of thing. And so, hey, does growth uptick your crime? It's supposed to. So that remains to be seen. We're doing some things to try to help that, but right now, I mean, for 3 years in a row, we've seen double-digit decreases in violent crime. And again, that number from 2008 that I told you about robberies is a very real number, mm-hmm. and down to 3. And the year before, in 2021, we had 2. So Chief Head and I have joked that we've had a 50% increase in robberies last year because we went from 2 to 3.
Uh-oh.
But, but we're able to, we're able to kind of have humor about that because those numbers are so low now. And so it's a really, really positive thing. So that's something that we wanted to share with everybody. The board also approved on second reading last night our new tax rate, which is about 70.5 cents. The tax rate, obviously, we've talked about that, went down significantly because of the reappraisal, the property value increase that we already talked about. So that's been approved, and so the new tax rate is now 70.5 cents, which I'd have to check and see once all the dust settles with everyone else, but that's going to be a probably bottom third tax rate in Middle Tennessee of cities. I would say. I'd like to see where everyone shakes out, but that's something to be proud of if you're taking care of things that need to be taken care of. So one of the biggest things that we did last night, and it's a change that really from a land use perspective, one of the biggest things that we've ever done, and that's adopt on first reading a specific plan district regulations. If anyone is familiar with Berry Farms in Franklin, Indian Lake in Hendersonville, these types of developments, they are a different land use planning mechanism, different zoning. It's not a use-based zoning where we say, okay, we're going to have the factory here, we're going to have the houses way over here, away from the factories, and we're going to have the commercial over here, away from the houses, and where you designate land area by use, right? Well, this new zoning concept, a specific plan district or form-based zoning, says it just needs to look a certain way and you can do pretty much what you want. And so that paves the way for Springfield to have a development like a Berry Farms or an Indian Lake because we have one proposed, and it's the 400 acres that we've talked about. And so we have one of those proposed, and part of that is needing to adopt some regulations to enable that development to take place. So we've had a work session last night at 5:00, adopted that on first reading. We'll have public hearing and public comment on that on second reading. And there will be a lot, again, of inviting public engagement on that because this is a large-scale development, and so we want to hear from the public on that.
And see what everybody's thoughts are on it. And there will be a lot of thoughts on it, I would imagine.
There will be.
Yeah. Because again, this growth thing, that's a question that came up in the survey. So if you want to have a voice, that's another place you can go to the survey and fill it out and give your input.
Yeah.
So, very good. Continuing on with Ron Martin, I tell you what, let's go ahead and get our last break out of the way, and that way you can just take it all the way up to the top of the hour. We're going to go ahead, and not say get it out of the way, because I love talking about Veterans Motorplex. And the way that you stay up to date on Veteran Motorplex is you go and follow them at Highland Rim Speedway. They kept that page because they already had a ton of followers there, and it just made sense. But when you go to Highland Rim Speedway, you're going to see Veterans Motorplex pop up. I had Jerry in last week. He was in here on 9/11. He met with my friend Adam Pope, brought Amy and Adam Pope out to the event they had this past weekend. We had a lot of fun at the big rig races. That was cool. I never in a million years thought I'd see those big trucks flying around the racetrack like that. It was crazy, but it was entertaining. It was fun. I enjoyed the music. I enjoyed all of it. And you will as well. If you just get out to the races, guys, you don't know what you're missing if you don't go by the races. Through October, you have a chance to enjoy racing only the way that Veterans Motorplex can put it on. It's at the Old Highland Rim Speedway. They're at 6801 Kelly Willis Road in Greenbrier. This is a family event. There's no alcohol. That's unusual for a racetrack. And so Jerry says, let people know that this is a family event. You can come out and you can have fun with your kiddos. And they've got a great concession stand. Some of my students are even working out there. He's hired and giving them their first job. Just a great guy. It's a great event. It's a great venue. And we got racing through October. Go out. Gates open at 4 this Saturday. Gates open at 4 this Saturday. Racing will start at 6. You can get those family 6-pack of tickets again, or you can get up to 6 kids and 2 adults for $40. They'll honor those again this weekend. They took that off the table last week because they had such a big event. But that's back on the table this week, and racing will start up at 6 o'clock on Saturday. Get out and enjoy the races. It's going to be great weather for it. Tell them U-Turn sent you. Okay, Ron, it's all you. What else you got?
We, the board passed last night the renewal of the RTA bus contract. Everyone sees the RTA buses that run from here to Nashville, and ridership has increased on that. I think they were around 5,000 last year.
Oh, wow.
And so that's a subsidy that they subsidize that, and it's a partnership, Robertson County and us and the RTA. We help provide that and subsidize that. It's a great service that's provided. Ridership continues to increase, and so we're excited about that. And it's very, very inexpensive for us to partner with the RTA and the county on that. So we approved another year of those buses running electric rates. I want to talk about electric rates for just a second because TVA, not the city of Springfield, but TVA has implemented a 4% increase in their usage rates beginning October 1. So everyone will see their electric bills go up slightly. I think the average comes out to about $2.80 a bill is what it'll go up, between $2.80 and around $3 a bill.
Okay.
So not
anything detrimental. Really.
Yeah, but still, it's an increase, and at a time when everything has gone up and is more expensive. So I wanted to let everybody know about that's they might see a slight increase. TVA did implement that. Obviously, TVA has struggled. We know what they went through last winter and what they might go through again this winter. And that's where we purchase our electricity. We have no alternative to purchase electricity other than from TVA. So the electricity that you get, whether you're a Springfield Electric customer or another customer in this area, it's from TVA. And so wanted to let everybody know about that. And then finally, we'll end on some very positive news. The city's bond rating went up, which is, if for those to equate that's our credit score. Okay. Our bond rating went up to AA2, which is getting close to the very top of credit rating, which is, and part of the reasoning for that was that we have shown significant fiscal responsibility. We've grown our reserves and have paid down debt. And we've reduced our general fund debt by about 30-something% over the last 3 or 4 years, which is really good. We're being responsible. We're paying cash when we can pay cash.
Sounds like Dave Ramsey.
And trying not to borrow when it's unnecessary.
I love it. That's great. And if anybody has any questions about anything that we've talked about, y'all have the meeting. They can see it. How can they see that?
They can. You can go to our website and find Board of Mayor and Alderman. We also have a YouTube channel. We live stream it on YouTube and post those links on Facebook and Instagram and wherever else as well. We try to make it very, very easy for people to find us because we do. The meeting was about an hour last night, so and we generate quite a bit of views on YouTube, believe it or not. And I have folks that I see that tell me, say, hey, I watched the meeting, and ask me a question about something that we did, which is encouraging to us because then we know that those efforts to put those things out there are being consumed and people are engaged.
Awesome. Ron Martin, he is our city manager. All things good going on here in Springfield. just that crime rate. I mean, that's amazing. Just to hear that. That's huge news. So go and watch the meeting. And if you have any questions, his door's always open. So easy to talk to and communicate with. So good to see you.
Good to see you too.
I'll see you next month.
All right. Thank you.
Or I'll see you around town.
That's right.
So Ryan Martin, our city manager, and talk with him. And also stay tuned because we've got our sweet friend Lee Marie is coming up with the Go Show. So you got another hour of what's going on around Robertson County coming up. Stay with us. This is 1100 WSGI. God bless. Have a great day.